Welcome back, everybody. August is finally upon us. The weather is changing.
I think it was August last episode. You just weren't here yet.
I wasn't here, so it's
right?
August for me right now. That's all that matters.
Oh, it wasn't August on Todd's vacation.
That's
but
right.
It's August here in the studio. But yes, hunting season is coming very, very quickly. What is today's date? What is the date? You got the date over there?
Yeah.
6th?
Computers
something
have
like
dates.
that?
August 6th. You're hunting in less than a month.
2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, we are hunting.
Whoa. Who's this we? You got a mouse in your pocket? Who are you going with? What's the stories?
Me and Bakken. Me and Scott.
Another invitation I didn't get. See, I invited him to go elk hunting.
No,
I never got invited.
Incorrect.
Didn't get
We
the
booked
invite.
this trip while we were on our deer hunting trip last year in Wyoming. You were there, and you said you did not want to go antelope hunting. So,
Dude, shooting an antelope, that's just like shooting a robin in your backyard. I mean, that's just my opinion, man. I've done that. I'm moving on to different
you shot a robin in your backyard?
No, that's illegal. It's just easy. It's okay.
It's
shooting,
easy.
It's
I didn't get one last time I went.
It's like shooting a chipmunk or something. I mean,
I've shot a lot of chipmunks in my
That might be
backyard
illegal.
in my day. They're rodents. It's like mice. You can shoot them. There's no chipmunk season.
all right. Well, I hope you're right about that. Now that we put
If
ourselves out there.
I get in trouble for chipmunks, I didn't actually shoot them. It was all theoretical.
In your brain.
Hypothetical. I shot him in my mind.
Well, let's stop jibber jabbering. Let's talk about Kurt, because if anyone's into some bucks, he's into some bucks.
Jert is definitely in the bucks. He had one of those nights where he went out scouting with, not really knowing what he was going to get into. And
It's not exactly the way it went down. I mean, I sent some friends over there to trespass by that camera so they would push him over there so that I could go look in a different spot where I didn't want him to see
Well, it didn't
where
really work out very
the
well
big
for
ones
you.
were. No, he's just looking at the small ones.
We're going to join Kurt Thorsen in his trucks. He's doing some velvet scouting. Let's check it out now.
Well, how's it going, guys? It is July 29th, and I'm out here today spontaneously sitting on some bean fields because the real reason I came out here is because we caught a trespasser on one of our cell cams. So, came out here to see what they were up to, and I figured since I'm out here, I'll make a spontaneous trip to the bean fields and just see what we can see. But I checked some trail cams this morning, and right down over my shoulder here in this bean field, we have been getting pictures of a very, very big buck that we call the Great 8. He's just a monstrous 8-pointer, along with another buck that Todd and I chased that we call Coke Can. And he was a super unique buck. Over the past 2 or 3 years, he's just had bases, the size of Coke cans. But this year, he made an addition. Now, instead of just being a typical, big, thick buck, he's a big, thick buck with a big Coke can-sized drop tine. So, probably one of the first drop time bucks that I've actually chased knowing that we're after him. So he's definitely up there at the top of the hit list. So we've got pictures of him in this bean field, mostly at night though. Kind of suspect that for how old of a buck that he is. So we're gonna sit out here tonight, see what we can see. Unfortunately, as soon as I pulled in the driveway today, there was a really nice buck out here, and he took off before I could grab my camera. So got video of a little fawn as I was pulling in. That was the only deer that stood there and let me get the camera out. So gonna sit tight, and maybe we'll see some deer tonight. If not, I'll update you guys what I'm doing this summer and what I've been keeping busy with. So gonna get the vortex here and scope around, see if we can't spot a buck. Oh, here comes a deer. Actually, right now, 2 of them. Get this spun around for you. Well, they're definitely not fans of the truck. I don't blame them. A big gray blob just sitting up here watching them while they try to eat. But yeah, like I said, I've only been here a few minutes. I haven't really seen much of anything. I kind of figured once I shut the truck off that they'd start coming, and sure enough, here they come. But it looks like 2 little bucks. But figured I'd tell you what I've been up to today. And checking trail cameras. I think I checked 2 or 3 of them. And the one right down here, like I said, pictures of that big 8-pointer. A couple other really, really nice bucks too. Couple that we've got history with, but we don't have names for them. They're just big. So got plenty of deer that we can chase over in this area. And what I've been up to this summer is, sorry, there's another one coming up. Little doe. So what I've been up to this summer is I went up fishing actually up north in northern Wisconsin. It was going to be a musky fishing trip. Of course, we had some really unseasonably warm temps up there, and water temperatures actually got above 80 degrees, which is very bad for, as you musky fishermen know, you can start killing fish if you catch them and stress them out. So we kind of, cut our losses there, and we just, did some fun things, did some pontoon boat rides, and did some snorkeling. And that was really the highlight of the trip. We went over to one end of the lake, and there's just a bunch of rock structure and some old wooden posts, and there was fish everywhere on it. Everything from rock bass, crappie, walleyes, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, you name it. And I'll have the guys insert a clip of that here, but it was just super, super cool. It really felt like I was swimming in a Bass Pro Shops aquarium. So talk about a really, really fun trip. Of course, it's a bummer that the musky fishing didn't work, but the first day I was there, I did catch a pretty decent northern. So it was definitely not a wasted trip. It was fun as always, but here I am, I'm back to reality and back to some deer hunting stuff. So actually yesterday I went to my cousin's and started working on my food plot. It's the same piece of property that I did that food plot last year, and that food plot turned out fantastic. The location of it was awful. Trying to get into that, I bumped deer every single time I went in. Every single time I hunted it, it was just wind swirling like crazy. It was just a nightmare to hunt. So I think I did more damage than good by putting that food plot down there. So what I did this year is I'm moving it up the hill, up on top, right on the edge of the crop field, kind of in an old little nook that you can tell probably was farmed before farm equipment actually got big. So I went in there yesterday. Half-acre plot. Doesn't sound like a bad idea to go in there and do it all by hand until I got in there and realized I'd probably bit off more than I could chew. But got the elbows dirty and took the blade and bladed this half-acre piece off. So that went well. I'm paying for it today though. I'm pretty sore, but gonna be coming back probably in a week, let that stuff, kind of that top layer, die off, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to spray all the resprouts coming back and start working on that. So it's going to be a brassica clover mix, and then I'm slowly going to transition that into just a clover field. So should be exciting, should be in a much better spot. I can now hunt it with 2 different stand locations too, to get a southerly and easternly component, and then on the south side of the plot I can hunt it with a north or westernly component. So it's going to be good, it's going to be exciting. I know when Todd gets back from his vacation here soon, he and I are going to meet up, I'm sure, and start working on some tree stand stuff. So you're going to get to see more from me, and hopefully you get to see more from me of some big bucks out here in the beans. Alright, that's really cool. That was one of the bucks that I said I got a picture of actually last night down here. He's one that we don't have named, but we've got 2 years worth of sheds off of this buck, and I'm pretty sure that he's a 6.5-year-old. I'm not positive, but I really don't care, because A, he's old enough, and B, he's big enough. Really big deer. He's always been a 10 point, but this year he's a big 9, but he's got a brow tine on him that's like 6.5 or 7 inches. Really tall tines, good mass. right, so there's another buck. Another good one. There's probably close to 15 bucks out in this field. Not one doe. One doe came by earlier. This is crazy. This buck, another one I don't have named. And I need to get some names for him apparently. But this is a monster deer. He blew up. He was a couple years ago, 2 years ago, he was like a mainframe 10 with a bunch of trash off of his bases. Last year, he was just a typical 9 or 10 pointer, but a bigger frame. He was 4.5. This is him at 5.5. And I'm trying to self-film and do the binocularing and such. It's difficult, but looking through the viewfinder, it looked like he had a big inside point again. Maybe we'll call them daggers, I don't know. But he had a big dagger off of that right main beam, it looked like. At first, when I saw him here, I thought he was the grade 8. I was videotaping that other big one. And I just happened to look to the left here. Man, just crazy. Gosh, he is a big deer. End of July, typically, you know, I get out to the bean fields, I see big bucks out in the beans, and you get excited. But this is the first time in a while that I've been extremely excited for October 1st to come. Because the cool thing is, I know absolutely, without a doubt, both of these bucks are very homebody to this property, actually right here within this area. So, not to say that they're going to be out in these beans, but hopefully we've got some food plots and some pinch points and whatnot that we can target them on. There's a couple other bucks in there that I might even shoot. Oh my gosh. I was expecting to see a couple deer, but I was not expecting to see 15 or 14 bucks. Oh, it's just crazy. And still not all of them. We haven't seen Coke Can. There's another big 9-pointer out here. That obviously he hasn't shown up either. Which he looks, I'd like to see him on the hoof because he looks like he's a 300-pound deer. Gotta love it. Very soon we will be in a tree stand after one of these bucks. Yes.
See, Justin, it's all about the friends that you pick. See, I got him out there. We're working together. He's telling me where deer
Hunting
are.
with Kurt's like hunting with Tommy. He goes and does all the work for you. So you
And he'll still, and Tommy will still shoot him before us, and so will Kurt. So
yeah,
it's all good.
That's a very good point. There's definitely some big deer that Kurt saw out there. It's got a lot of great.
How about Coke Can though?
photos.
You know, that buck that I passed a couple years ago with that
You should have
dropper.
just shot him 2 years ago. It doesn't matter.
It's all right.
He was a giant. Just the faces
Look
on
at the
that deer.
story that it's created. Look at the social media posts. Look at the giant he's turned into. Justin, you got to let him
Giant.
go. That's a giant buck. I don't care what you say.
His tines are like this long.
I don't care.
He's got a big drop tine. I'm not saying he's not a cool deer,
Dude,
but I'm
he's
just
a
saying.
6.5-year-old giant buck.
I bet he's
period.
older than 6 years old. Right
I
now.
bet you he is
would
too. He's a
guarantee it.
giant buck. You're jealous, and that's the way it is.
That is very accurate. I am jealous
is.
of all the big deer Todd is chasing. Guys, thanks for tuning in to another fun episode of Bowhunt or Die. We will see you back here in a couple of days with another excited episode.
Well,
So-
more episodes. Our teammates are finally coming out of the woodwork after this COVID.
It's time to go, baby.
I think they're just, yeah. I mean,
The nights are getting a little bit cooler. It's starting to feel fall-y out there. Deer
Good.
killing time is coming. So we'll see you guys here in a couple of days on Bowhunt or Die.
Fire it off. Take it off.
Rolling.
Okay.
I didn't look at my bucks this morning. I didn't. That's why I had somebody to look at. You can start. I'm just going to look real quick.